With nearly 40 million people, California is our most populous state. When I think of hunting, I have to admit that California isn't the first place I think of. That said, last year there were 250,000 hunting licenses sold in the state, and it reminds me that hunters can be found in every neighborhood across the country. Ruben Mata is a first-generation American who grew up near the beach in Ventura County. As a kid, he loved being outdoors, but he never had the opportunity to learn to hunt. In his 20s, as a young diesel mechanic, he started researching the subject of hunting on his days off. Eventually, he found trusted sources on the internet, passed the state-sponsored firearm safety course, and taught himself how to hunt. Today, he's a hunter and an active volunteer with the local chapter of Quail Forever. This is the first time I've ever had somebody say to me, "Meet me at the beach and we'll plan out our hunt for tomorrow."
It's pretty nice, isn't it?
It is very nice. When people think of upland hunting, they don't often think of areas like this. And
No.
obviously, you know, we're not going to hunt here.
Right.
We're going to hunt near here.
Right.
Though. So tell me a little bit about, you know, growing up, you know, in this area of the state. Like, what was it like?
Well, you know, we had unlimited access to the beach growing up. We were always fishing. The coast's pretty long and it's accessible in many areas. And that's kind of how it all started, you know. Start fishing and then you start wondering what else can you do. As I grew older, I knew that there were certain things you had to do to hunt.
Yeah.
And I was very interested in that. Yeah, I just started doing my own research once I started getting older and stuff.
Maybe talk a little bit about how your approach to hunting and conservation has changed from when you were young versus now as an active member of Quail Forever, and what you think is important.
To me, having my children be involved in the outdoors was big because it's what shaped me. We started them fishing and then, you know, explained to them why we couldn't keep certain fish because they were not within the legal limit or out of season or whatever it was. And that just transitioned into hunting.
What would you tell somebody trying to get into hunting?
Now?
Yeah, like what did you learn where you're like, oh my
Internet
gosh.
is gold.
Yeah.
You know, everything is at your fingertips. You could search, you know, you go to the fish and game websites and everything is there. Yeah, it's definitely a lot different from when I first started to what it is now.
As somebody who's active in a group like Quail Forever, how does a hunter approach conservation? Maybe even beyond the legal requirements. So, you know, there's like, you know, shooting hours, bag limits, etc. But what are some of the other things that you think are important for a hunter to consider?
I think if you take something from Mother Earth, you got to put it back in one way or another. And I think conservation is big. But out here, as hard as it may seem, like it don't rain very much. So the lack of water for all the animals is scarce. And what we do with our chapter is we go out and we make sure that the animals have stuff to drink. That way, you know, they can reproduce because they have the water and all of that.
Where are we going to go tomorrow? We're going after quail, right?
Yes, yes. So we're gonna go to the Los Padres National Forest. It's one of our biggest national forests here.
And so this is all public land up here,
Correct.
right? So we don't really have to worry about private land borders in this area we're going to be hunting.
Correct.
We're going after valley quail, right?
Correct.
Which is also called California quail.
California quail is our state bird.
So what kind of habitat does
They like to roam around in the manzanitas, juniper trees. They roost in junipers and stuff like that, but they like to hang out where there's like a dry wash of some sort. And that's what I usually do is when I see a wash, I'll start working that wash and they usually start busting out.
As Ruben finalized the details for tomorrow's hunt, I made a quick stop over to Sporting Dogs B&B. The owner, Bob Worrell, is an active member of the North American Versatile Hunting Dog Association, and he's also considered one of the best hunting dog trainers on the West Coast. This is a lot of dogs.
There's 18 kennels on each side, so we're usually full during the summer.
So how many different breeds have you got here?
Oh, it varies.
Yeah?
Yeah. So most of the dogs out here in California that I train are, most percentage is probably short hairs, but I do get other stuff.
There's so many different breeds of hunting dogs, aren't there?
Yeah.
Do you think a new hunter needs to have a dog? Is it required to be able to hunt?
It is not, but if you're going to go bird hunting, you know, chances are you're probably going to be able to shoot birds, but finding them after they're hit is going to be very difficult.
There are different types of hunting dogs, right?
Absolutely.
So what are the primary types of hunting dogs that you would use?
So you have like your English pointer is really like a breed to hunt birds, all right? It doesn't, you know, do water and like that, just birds. And then you have your versatile breeds. They kind of do everything. And then you have your flushing dogs. The flushing dogs are generally, you know, 25-yard range, because that's gun range, and they go down through the field doing a figure 8, right? Your pointers, you know, they do like a windshield wiper, a little bit bigger range.
Ruben's dog, Pongo, is a German short-haired pointer, or GSP. GSPs are considered a versatile hunting dog. A breed is considered versatile if the dog is bred and trained to dependably hunt and point game, to retrieve on both land and water, and to track wounded game on both land and water. So pointers, flushers, retrievers, and then versatile dogs, which you're active with an organization called NAVDA, right?
I am.
And what is it about an organization like NAVDA? What are they helping the hunter do and their dogs?
Well, what they're trying to do is for you to be able to train your own dog and hunt with it. And, you know, they're looking at it as overall humanely train the dog right, you know. And then you have they have a testing program. And they, you know, you get scores and awards and stuff like that, and breeders' awards and stuff like that. So it's very, very popular. I mean, there's a lot of members in North America.
Yeah. What's your favorite hunting dog?
You know, I figured that was coming. So for me, you know, being a professional trainer and stuff, I really like the good ones. All right. So what I mean by that is like, some of the breeds, you have to look a little bit harder to find what you want. But I think every breed out there, if you look hard enough, you can find what you want. So I'm looking for a dog that likes to work. You know, he's excited to see you. He's got a good nose. You know, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. But he's got that attitude, you know, like, hey, let's go. I want to do this, you know?
There are dozens of hunting dog breeds a new hunter could consider, and I'd encourage you to take some time and not rush into a purchase too quickly. As Bob mentioned, you don't have to own a hunting dog to hunt, but it can really add to the hunting experience. The Los Padres National Forest is only a couple-hour drive from Ruben's home in Oxnard. This forest is made up of nearly 3,000 square miles of mountains, semi-desert, and chaparral, which is prime habitat for valley quail. Hey Pongo, how you doing? You ready?
He's whining. He's ready.
What is your main gear setup? You know, you talk about in terms of boots, gun, but what have you? So I brought with me. I got my 20 gauge, break action over under.
Mm-hmm.
What's your gun?
I have 12 gauge over under break action.
Basic gear, gun, good pair of boots,
Mm-hmm.
maybe an orange cap and a vest, right?
That's it. And shells, don't forget the shells.
That's an important part. So from a navigation standpoint, it's pretty open, but we've got a lot of the brush. You're gonna usually take a bearing. You're gonna be heading. Are we gonna head sort of north here, or where are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause we're in a wash now, but we'll walk the edge of a hillside, and they tend to be in there too. And hopefully they flush in the right direction.
So you see, you know, in this area here, there's some of the juniper beyond. We got the sage here.
Mm-hmm. You'll get some of the manzanitas on the hillsides.
Okay.
And stuff like that too.
Okay. Sounds good. Should we hit it?
Yeah, let's get it. Let's get our gear on.
Officially established as the state bird in 1931, the California quail is an adaptable upland bird species and the favorite of many hunters in this area. I think it's one of the most regal looking of upland birds, and while this is my first time hunting them, I've heard much about the challenge of these little speedsters that rocket out of their cover when flushed.
Okay, go find them. Let's go find them. So we'll work the field right past the road,
Okay.
and then we'll go towards the wash, and then into the next set of junipers over there.
Okay, yeah, I see that line of junipers on the other side of
We
the
might
wash.
even walk all the way to those pines.
And those pines, that's where there could be
Mountain quail.
some mountain quail. Okay. Looking a little birdie.
Yeah, he looks birdie. Yeah, he's definitely on something. Oh, he's moving again. Oh, he's on point. Right 32 yards in front of you. About 50 yards in front of you. Oh. Oh, come on, baby, come on. Oh, I hope he got one. Hey, Mark, do you copy?
I do, Ruben.
I heard you take 2 shots. What's the outcome?
Yeah, Pongo was on them. They're about 40 yards out and jumped covey of about 10, 12 birds. I popped off a couple shots at one of the birds, but completely missed.
Okay, you have a general idea where they're at, or is Pongo still on them over there?
Pongo's definitely working them over here, and there's about 4 or 5 that went back towards that wash that we just crossed over, and I think we might be able to jump those again.
I'd now seen my first California quail, but only for a split second. We worked our way back to the wash we had crossed earlier, but didn't see the birds again. Ruben shared that there was a different location not too far away with good habitat, so we hopped in the truck and made our way there.
We'll head towards that wash on the other side.
Okay.
I don't know, if I was a bird, I'd probably hide in the thicker stuff.
Okay.
But hear that?
Yes, I did. So that's the first time I've heard the full call of the valley quail.
Nice. It's very distinct.
It is.
Hey, you know what? He might be right there.
He could be, you know
Yeah.
what?
Just watch that. Walk that little hillside. Holy smokes.
Oh!
No, that's not a quail.
Yep. saw the wings. Thought for a moment.
We'll walk by a guzzler too. It's pretty in bad shape.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's hard getting in here with all the equipment.
So the guzzler, the purpose of the guzzler is to capture as much of the rainwater.
The runoff, yeah.
And so actually, I just realized, so the way this is designed with this apron, it's going to capture it all on that and then draw it right down in because of the way it's graded. So the guzzlers are one of the conservation tools that Quail Forever will use out here, and other partners who are concerned about conservation of the wildlife.
Yeah, I know there's the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation does a lot of stuff like that for elk, sheep and stuff like that, where the water's very scarce out in deserts. But
Very different structure from this though, right?
Yeah,
For a
but
large game.
but similar concept.
Yeah. Okay. You ever seen a quail at a guzzler?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, actually not that long ago we did another one in another canyon, and there was so many quail and baby quail, like it was just flourishing with life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It's a good sign to see.
You hear them?
They're calling over here though. I'm getting a call back over here.
Are you?
Yeah.
Let's go. Keep looking for a good spot to get down here. Little peep up here. Like a high-pitched peep.
Walk it.
Right here, Ruben. Did you hear
Okay.
it? Right there.
You see them?
No, heard them.
They're pretty loud, huh?
Yeah. Well, I can work this edge. Can you get up on that far edge? Because
I could look and see if it's doable.
should we try it? It's pretty dense. The birds, we've been working these washes. A lot of times they're just on those edges. You were
Just on the
saying?
edges, yeah.
Yeah.
They'll hang out in there. I mean, sometimes they'll roost, or it's a fast getaway from predators. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they'll be out in the wash, picking rocks and stuff like that, and then they'll go and hide in a bush. Once they sense danger and stuff, and that's usually where they fly out of.
So the way we were working it, there's areas with these washes, it can be hard to see, and that's where I think the orange is obviously helpful to know where the other person's at.
Right, if you're hunting with somebody else, and like the verbal communication amongst each other too. Always yell at one another, just to make sure we know where we're at.
It's important to always be aware of the location of your hunting partners and any dogs that are with you. As Ruben and I walked, one of us would oftentimes be on top of a ridge while the other person was down in a wash. It was imperative that we each kept track of the other person, so that we knew which directions we could safely shoot a bird.
Start walking in around there that way.
Okay.
Where are they? Oh, they're over there.
Ah! I heard them. Should I go down in the wash or up on this?
You can walk the wash right here and I'll walk this side.
Okay.
Oh.
One jumped right in front of me.
Did you get one?
No.
Just keep on walking. There's probably stragglers in here.
Okay.
Nice and easy. They'll flush out. At you, at you, at you, at you. Oh, you feathered it. Come on.
Ah! Oh! Man, they are moving fast.
Did you drop your gun?
Did I drop it?
Yeah.
No?
Oh, okay. I was hoping you would make that excuse.
Oh. No, just poor shooting. It's easy for a hunter to become overly confident in his or her ability after a few well-placed shots. But it doesn't take much to bring that hunter back down to reality. Ruben and Pongo found the birds and created the opportunities I was looking for, but those quail humbled me. Weighing in at a mere 6 to 7 ounces and being able to reach speeds of 30 to 40 miles an hour in short order means you better be ready for a quick shot with these birds. The message to me was clear: get to the range soon and work on my aim. Well, good hunt today.
I'd agree.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
I had the opportunity, and it was right there, but wasn't able to close the deal.
Yeah.
It was fun to see the bird on wing, though. I mean,
good.
They are fast.
They are very fast. I went on a hunt yesterday morning.
Yeah, you
and
mentioned that.
I brought some birds if you want to check them out. That way, you know, you actually got to hold the bird.
I can see what they look like up close. Yeah, that sounds good.
I would tell you how many birds I saw yesterday, but you'd hate me. And this is all I got from the coveys I ran into.
You saw more than 2 or 3, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
This
man, look
has
at that
3
color.
top knots.
3 top knots. Okay. So they're a pretty small bird, similar to, you know, in the Midwest if we're woodcock hunting size-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm guessing in terms of the amount of meat you get out of them. How do you field dress them? What's the process you go through?
I could show you if you'd like me to.
Yeah. I'd love to.
But it's not, you know, out here in the state of California, you have to leave a wing, at least one wing on the bird.
Okay.
So you can't completely like tear it apart
For transportation,
Right.
For identification.
Right.
So what's that? I mean, high level. What's the process you would go
So
through in the field?
I cut the feet off.
Okay.
Nothing impressive.
They come off pretty easy.
Yeah,
Right there on that joint.
just on the joint.
Yeah.
I cut one of the wings off. I cut the head off. We got to leave one wing on.
And you could do this with a knife too, right? But
Yeah, if you have a pretty sharp knife.
yeah.
I'd like the scissors a lot better. We'll cut the head off. And then I cut the tail off. And then I pull the skin out. And
Okay.
then you have the whole body essentially. Comes right off.
So you cut the feet off, and then once you're peeling that off,
It slides right
it
off.
slides right off of
Yeah.
the legs. Look at that. So right off there. Okay, cool. Yeah.
What I do is I cut around the back end there.
Okay.
Cut along the back.
So right up either side of the spine,
Mhm.
basically, huh?
Peels right open.
All the entrails there.
And we get a paper towel.
That is about as clean and
That's it.
easy as it comes.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Pretty simple.
Yeah. And they've got that wing for the
And the
ID.
wing, yep.
And they can tell that it's a valley quail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you could do that just a few minutes in the field, get them broken down, and then you can finish up the process of getting the meat off the bone or what have you back home, right?
I like to cook it in a chile verde, so we'll brown everything on a skillet, and then we'll let it simmer in a sauce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds really good. A meal from these quail would be something special, so I gladly accepted Ruben's offer to join him and his family for dinner. This recipe, is this originally your mother's recipe? What are we having this evening?
Oh, it's a sore subject. So it was, and then she made it her own. So we're gonna go with her. It's her.
It's a sore subject. I love that.
I can't say it's my mom's because she gets really upset.
So what is it, Andrea? Tell me a little bit about the background of this. What is this? Is this a chili?
So it's a chile verde quail.
Okay.
So basically what it is like a green salsa
Okay.
poured over the meat, and it's like tenderized into the meat. So
Okay.
as it simmers, you hear them popping. The
tomatillos and
tomatillo
everything
just
in them,
popped. Yeah. So you put them in the oven and you just wait for them to burst because that just brings out the flavor. So they're popping right now. There's poblano chilies, jalapenos, serranos, and cilantro. And so you take it and you toast all the vegetables up and put them in the oven till they brown and they start to explode and burn. And the charred flavor, I like to leave it on. Some people peel it off, but I love the smoky flavor of it. So we leave it on and put it up in a blender and cook the meat up and pour it on top. Serve it with beans and rice. And we like to eat it with tortilla chips. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, it sounds great. Ruben learned to hunt on his own, without a family member to guide him. There were no long-standing traditions for him to follow. His curiosity became an interest, and that interest turned into a passion for hunting and conservation. I see that same curiosity and interest in the eyes of his boys, and I know that he's already creating Mata traditions that will most likely be passed down to the next generation.